Marmarosh Mountains are a specific area split into Romania's Munții Marmureșului Natural Park and Ukraine's Marmarossky Protected Massif. But camping in tents is allowed in each part because of the remoteness of these mountains. There is only one mountain refuge called Lucaciasa, situated just on the foot of Toroiaga summit at 1635 meters altitude. You can also utilize numerous chalets, but they are occupied by shepherds during summer period. As it was mentioned, the highest peak of Marmarosh Mountains is Farkau. This conical basalt mountain sits in the north, just a few kilometers from the main ridge, being the border. There are great views of the second highest massif of Marmarosh Mountains, Pop Ivan, which rises several kilometers to the west of Farkau summit. Pop Ivan is the highest peak in the main ridge as well as the highest summit of Ukraine's Rakhivsky Mountains. The third highest summit of Marmarosh Mountains is called Toroiaga. Its altitude is 1930 meters and this massif is localized in the central part to the north of Baile Borsha. The peak is formed of andesite and it has steep slopes sculpted by erosion. Mihailecu, with 1917 meters elevation, is the southern mountain brother of Farkau summit, which rises on the other side of Lake Vinderel. This massif is characteristic with basalt and limestone layers in northeastern face. Crook trees and bushes cover the summit of Jupania, localized in the southeast in the main ridge, 2 kilometers of the border within Romania's territory. Pietrosu Bardaului is situated in the central part between the valleys of Vaser and Ruscova rivers. Around the summit there are plenty of small freeze-thaw earth structures, similar to those found in the tundra. Charcanu lies in the southernmost corner, just north of Prislo Pass. Its top part is formed of limestone layers. Piciorul Capre is localized about 3 kilometers east of the summit of Toroiaga. Chivchin summit, reaching 1765 meters altitude, is the most important and dominant massif localized near the border section of Marmarosh Mountains on the territory of Ukraine. The Rugashu Ridge near the Farkau Peak stands out with its subalpine landscape and the small periglacial rings. The Pietriceaua Ridge is special thanks to its steep slopes, its caves and sinkholes, which make it a great place for mountain climbing. The wildlife of this remote area is specific for the eastern Carpathians, presenting a high biodiversity due to difficult access, ecological factors, and exposing a series of endemic species rare for Romania and Europe. Perhaps the wildest part of Marmarosh Mountains is famous Vaser Valley, occupying about 25% of this territory. Access to the Vaser Valley is possible mainly by the tourist train put in motion by a steam engine. From the total length of the valley, A 43.5-kilometer section is crossed by a narrow forest railway built between 1924 to 1932. Vaser Valley crosses the Marmarosh Mountains in the middle of one of the most romantic, wild and beautiful landscapes in Romanian Carpathians. Both the geomorphology and the geology of the Marmarosh Mountains are complex and extremely interesting. Their nearly 100 kilometers long main ridge, forming the state border between Ukraine and Romania, is oriented in the northwest-southeast direction, and except its western section is relatively low, mostly of flysch, which is not very resistant to erosion. Permission is required to traverse this border section of Marmarosh Mountains formed of these summits: Poloninka, Șerban, Pop Ivan, Neneska, Mica Mare, Șaul, Curbul, Stih, Stogu, Copilașu, Ludescu, Budescu, Șuligu, Lostun, Puru, Ștevioara, Comanu, Hnitesa, Ignatesa. The peaks that crown the lateral ridges, separated by the tributaries of the Vișeu River, are considerably higher, as they are of hard, metamorphic or volcanic rock. These mountains are still being lifted by tectonic forces relatively quickly. The valleys are deep, so climbing any of the high summits from a village at its foot translates to an elevation gain of about 1,200 meters. Talking of the variety of rocks, limestone is also present in the Marmarosh Mountains, so are caves and other karstic phenomena. Traces of little Pleistocene glaciers enrich the landscapes of Pop Ivan. Marmarosh Mountains are one of 30 important Carpathian regions from a biodiversity conservation point of view. Although this territory is a protection status, being part of Romania's Marmarosh Mountains Nature Park and Ukraine's Marmarossky Protected Massif, there are future projects of establishing bilateral biosphere reserve called Marmarosh Mountains.